Okay, so some upper body exercises using all the muscles together, and I'm going to start on the floor and then I'm going to show you some modifications on the chair if you don't feel comfortable getting on the floor. To review, getting on the floor, no shame, and using as many points of contact as you need to. Get down to the floor, and this is going to be all fours. We call this move the bird dog, or sometimes it's called a quadruped. But you want to make sure that your knees and your wrists are right under your hips and your shoulders respectively. So none of this, and then none of the knees together. So think of yourself as a table. This is a tabletop position. If putting your weight into your upper body is a little uncomfortable for your wrists, there's always the option on making a fist and holding it this way. And so in this position, sometimes this is the exercise. Loading our upper body equally with our lower body, or our weight equally upper body, lower body, is sometimes the exercise for people. That might be a way you can measure your progress, as if this gets easier to do. The exercise we're going to do is an opposite arm and leg raise. So I'm going to test the waters here. I'm going to lift up one arm and I see how much it takes to keep my balance there. Then I'm going to lower that down. Then I'm going to lift my other arm, and sometimes one side's easier than the other. So you really want to just kind of give yourself equal work on trying this out. Again, if you're feeling a little limited in your motion, in your overhead motion, then you can make a little bit of a modification on maybe bending your elbow and lifting up. You're really getting good strengthening, lifting against gravity. So this is for the back of the shoulders. And then you can also lift up a leg. So I can take one of those 4 points and lift it up and make sure that my core muscles and my hips are doing the work. Then if I'm really feeling crazy, I can do the opposite arm and leg. And so that takes a little bit more balance, and that would be a little bit more advanced. So in this, if you want to go ahead and do the amount that you feel like you can do while breathing, while under control, usually about 10 to 12. The last modification I'll show you is, if getting on the floor is tough, you can do this either on a chair, even high here. If I have a sturdy chair, I can even do this here. So I'm loading my upper body and I can do that opposite arm and leg. I want to keep my back nice and straight. I want to look forward and keep my chin kind of tucked instead of forward here. So I can hold that for a while if I feel like I want a balance challenge. There's so many modifications, we could be here all day. We're going to move on to our next one. Getting down onto the floor, we're going to change it up a little bit and do a plank. So that's going to involve a little bit deeper onto the floor. If you feel comfortable lying on your stomach, so you can lie here in an extension of your back with your elbows tucked underneath you. And then this plank is going to be you really pushing your forearms into the floor. So that's going to involve some shoulder and some arm strength. And then keeping your knees on the ground, just draw your belly up and then lower it down. So this would be kind of the beginner trial of this, and that might be enough of a challenge. Again, you're the boss here, so you decide. If I'm doing these repetitions, I'm kind of pushing into the floor and I'm letting my body kind of lift up against that leverage. Maybe I'm feeling really strong and I want to push up even more. I feel that in my shoulders, in my back, and my stomach. Breathing out as you lift up, in as you lower down. So you can continue with those repetitions while I show a modification for the chair. The chair has many levels, so you can do this up on the back of the chair, or you can do it lower, but you can be in a position almost like a push-up. So here I am loading that upper body, and really this is an endurance exercise. We're just trying to make sure that the arms are strong and able to hold our upper body up. If you want to go to the forearms, you can do it that way too. So there's lots of ways to kind of modify that. So then we're going to go back to the floor, and this is going to be a little bit more of a core exercise with some rotation. I'm going to show you two different directions of this. So if you're able to sit up with your knees bent, nice and tall, that's great. That's a challenge sometimes in and of itself. If you need a little bit of a support there, you certainly can do that. I'm going to grab one of my weights, or actually, I'm going to grab a water bottle. So even if you don't have weights at home, just grab something that weighs a little bit, and we're going to twist and tap that weight down on one side, bring it back up, twist, tap it down to the other. So I'll go at it from the front so you can kind of see. I have my weight in the center here, my posture's good. I'm going to turn, tap here, so I get a little twist in the abdomen area. Turn, tap here, and twist. This is going to be challenging for the core muscles, right in the stomach, in the back, in the hips. You get a lot of bang for your buck on this one, which is good. If you feel like you want to maybe do it one at a time to get a little bit of support here, you certainly can modify doing it that way. But you notice how my torso is turning. That's what I want to do, is I want to kind of work within those muscles there. The other one that goes in this same position, I might want to take a break, give my back a little rest. And the other one is called a bow and an arrow. So that would be arms out, and I'm just going to draw back like I'm going to shoot a bow. Or I guess shoot an arrow. Draw the bow, shoot the arrow, and then bring it back. Good. So again, I'm thinking good posture, I'm thinking breathing, and I'm really thinking about pulling that shoulder blade back and bring it up. I can do this as I'm seated in the chair easily. If you want to keep doing the repetitions, we'll show how the chair can be useful. If you're here, you can be on the edge of it. Lean yourself back, arms are out, and then just do that little bit of a draw and bring it forward. A little bit of a draw. I like to have my head follow instead of keep it here, because that kind of wrenches my neck. And bring it up. And then draw back. Good. And bring it back down. Hopefully you're starting to feel your upper body a little bit.